Immigration enforcement took a dramatic turn after two fatal shootings by ICE agents. On July 4th in Houston, agents shot and killed Lorenzo Salgo Aldro. I might be butchering that Mexican name, but
Let me
don't
see. Let me
speak it,
see. I'm pretty good
unfortunately.
with Latino names.
Yeah, you might be able to get it better than me, but he was a
Lorenzo
Mexican
Salgado
national.
Araujo.
Araujo. That's I was kind of there, but I said it more Englishy. But however, he was a Mexican national who had lived in the United States for decades. DHS said he used his van as a weapon, though passengers dispute that account. Then on July 13th in Biddeford, Maine, agents fatally shot 26-year-old Colombian national Joan Duran Guerrero after his vehicle attempted to flee during a targeted stop. These were at least the 9th deaths linked to the administration's mass deportation campaign nationwide. And we're going to be seeing more of this happening because these traffic stops are just going to increase after Trump is, reinitiating them after the so-called pause, which was basically literally 24 hours, which I don't even understand why you even do that to begin with. Like, it makes no sense to just, we're going to pause and then boom. Like,
I want to add.
It's just sickening.
When I saw the DHS secretary do that, I was like, well, maybe he's like trying to actually do something XYZ. He testified in Congress that he listen to this. This made me laugh so much when I saw the number. I couldn't believe it. He said that our officers are facing a 3,300% increase in vehicle attacks by illegal aliens and anti-ICE agitators. So I just want to put that in perspective. A 100% is doubling. 100% is doubling.
Yeah, literally.
So that means he's saying there's 34 times more people using their vehicles to attack ICE agents. So think about that. If that number was 1 before, it'd be 34 now. Have there been 34 ICE agents injured by people running them over? We would not hear the end of it. We would not hear the end of it. No, we'd be like, ICE agent suffered broken leg, broken ribs, ICE agent going to hospital, XYZ. Nope. We don't hear any of it because it doesn't happen. We see these people be threatened by these vehicles. And like Renee, she's literally just sitting there in her car like, dude, what are you doing? I'm just trying to leave. Like, let me leave. And the guy say, she tried to run me over and attack me. And on video, clearly not the case. It's clearly not the case
at all. Nope. And this is only going to get worse.
I want to say this. I really want to say this. If you consider yourself libertarian at all, if you think a big federal government is bad at all, if you dislike the idea of a Soviet Union government at all, you will, or a fascist government like the secret police of any extremist government, you will be against ICE. They're not secret police like the Gestapo and what the SS had, but they are literally out in the open. They're out in the open murdering people and then saying, our lives are at trouble. No, they weren't. There's videos. There's so many videos. You guys are just lying and bullshit. They have a bigger budget than I think the Marines or the Army or something like that. They have a bigger budget than some of our military branches. And they're going to continue getting that funding. And mark my words, this is going to be used. He's going to use them during the budget for ICE is larger than the entire budget for the Marines.
Yep, thought so. Yep, 1,000%. And I'm telling you, he's going to use them in some form of fashion to play some elections.
Bigger than Coast Guard too.
He has this speech tomorrow that's going to be talking about the fraud of the 2020 election. So I'm very interested to see what he's going to be spouting out of his mouth.
Yes,
but he's going to use that speech to start making some big headway moves.
From what I heard, the rumors are that he is looking at saying that there was Maduro will be agreeing that there was foreign interference in the election. And this is what I want to know. Wait, this is actually what I want to know.
And we said this when Maduro got captured.
I really want to ask this. Say he admits that. What is he going to do? Is Trump going to say, I won 2020 and I was the president then? What will change? Are they going to try to get Raphael Warnock and Ossoff out of office with that? That's a state race. That's not even a national one. They would try
to say he's like due another term.
Right.
Or maybe then that would be the trigger to them needing to then rewrite that piece of the Constitution. That's possibly the only way that I can see it. That now, if it like I mean, that would be the only.
They will not get the votes for that.
I don't know.
They will not get.
They would definitely. No, they would never get the votes for it.
And
but
that's
I
what I'm
think
confused by. Like, what's the goal here? Is it just to say like, oh yeah, I did get cheated out? Congrats. Now what? That was six.
I think it's going to be used for the basis for these upcoming elections and to put in even more security once 2028 comes. Like, this is going to be the basis for a lot. Like the same thing when he had the agents go to Fulton County, Georgia. And going to all of these election centers and trying to get all of these ballots in. That's what ties into when he had all these ICE agents and all of these Democratic cities and Republican cities and said, I'm not letting them come out of your city unless you give me your voter rolls. Like he has tried multiple times and has been shot down time and time again. And now he's even doing it with the Postal Service, who says that they won't even send out ballots to states if they do not get their voter rolls. It's absolutely insane. And even though Republican think tanks have all stated the opposite, that there is voter fraud, but the amounts of it is not large enough to change the scale of an election. And it's absolutely wild that there is no evidence that they can even speak to, or even evidence anyone can speak to when you talk to them about it, because it always just turns to, oh, how do these ballots just come in here at the middle of the night? And I mean, that's just how counting happens realistically. But it's absolutely insane what he's going to try to say tomorrow, and try to connect that to use as a precipice to go ahead and use some form of election force. In 26, 27, and 20.
Because of your earlier comment about the USPS, I was interested in that. This is as of 2 hours ago.
Yeah.
The USPS confirmed it is following a pair of court orders blocking it from following Donald Trump's anti-mail voting executive order. The Postal Service is abiding by these injunctions, which are also currently under appeal. Postmaster General David Snyder said.
Like, they are trying so hard. They're trying so hard just to make it extremely hard for individuals to vote. And we're going to get to some of those bills, especially the SAVE Act, which is now going to be going over to the Senate. But I'm going to just touch on a little bit Lindsey Graham, who unfortunately, who sadly, should I say, passed away to sudden death realistically. I remember opening up my phone and I was like, holy crap, Lindsey Graham actually passed away. And I had to like scroll up multiple times to see that actually really be like, he actually died. Like, that's actually pretty insane, because that obviously, if, his sister wasn't appointed to the position, which I've never seen that happen before when someone dies. There's usually a special election, and usually
right. I couldn't believe that. I was like, are they... Like, is that even legal?
Usually the chief of staff is the one that steps in and just fills in the role, like, prematurely before the special election would have to have been like a month out, or like a month and a half. It would have to have been very quick turnaround, realistically.
I was saying, when is that Senate seat election anyway?
I'm not even too sure.
Is that 2 years from now, or is that this year? I was like, that's
it's Senate, so I think it might be 27 or in 28. I forget. The Senator's 6 years, but yeah, Senator's 6 years.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out when he last ran.
I want to say it's 28. Definitely want to say it's 28, but it is, unfortunate that he did pass away. I never want to see a sudden death of any individuals. But yes, his sister has been appointed to take his seat, something that hasn't happened that I can recall of in electoral politics. When an individual passes away, it's usually the chief of staff, like I was saying, that takes the spot and is just, managing everything from day to day until the special election is officially done. But with his passing, we also have the consistent disappearance of Mitch McConnell, and a lot of these Republicans seem to just be not going to work, and just pretty much. I mean, Mitch McConnell, his absence, and he put up that one video of that. I mean, that one photo of him and his wife.
Wait, did you see?
Just to kind of get ahead of anything, just to kind of get ahead of everything. But people were focusing. I was just gonna say, people were focusing on that newspaper. And I didn't really read into it, but people were like, what day is that newspaper from that he had in his hand? And I didn't dive into it fully, but yes, people were questioning the suspicion around that photo. And then now you.
Anyway, I want to add this: the reason why I'm suspicious of the photo, he was wearing jeans in the hospital bed. I've been to the hospital like 6 times. I've never worn anything but the scrubs they give me. Even if it's literally like just puking, like, I'm belly sick for 5 days. If I had a coma and I passed out, I'd imagine they'd change me, If I was passed out for a week in a coma, they're not just going to let you lay there in jeans and a button up,
Yeah, literally. Right. Yeah. Jeans in the hospital is no, unless you're visiting. That's about it.
No, or
it's the only time I ever
about
see someone in jeans. Yeah, literally.
Like anytime I'm like, they require you to wear the scrubs for the IVs, for checking you, for everything. You can only wear normal clothes when you're done. So that's what I'm saying. Like if he's wearing normal clothes, okay, let's say it's a legit photo. Why hasn't he left yet? Clearly, if he's wearing normal clothes in the hospital, he's good to go.
Right, as you would think.
Yeah, but you would think.
Yes, with South Carolina, yes, I was. It is going to be a quick turnaround, but they're only going to have a special Republican primary, not even a special general election and everything. So that's going to be on August 11th to choose a nominee for the full 6-year term on the November 11th, on the November ballot. So they will serve out that term from August to November, and then we'll have that general election as well. And then we'll also have Israel. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is actually going to be attending Lindsey Graham's funeral, which I am completely not surprised about at all.
Right. I remember I saw this one post that I agree with, and it was like, if Benjamin Netanyahu is mourning your death, you're probably not a good person.
I agree with that to some degree, honestly, because
Graham was all about
mass murderer.
Yeah, literally, Graham was about mass murdering Russians, mass murdering Arabs, mass murdering anybody who he disagreed with, and because he didn't have to do the mass murdering. And on top of that, the guy was a massive LGBT character, and he rallied massively against the LGBT. I mean, it's really like the guy clearly had morals that revolved around himself and only himself. His morals revolved around being selfish and self-minded, and I don't think anybody's going to really be that devastated except people who really agree with what he said and did to see him gone. I mean, like, I don't think we should just be respectful to people just because they're all of a sudden dead if they were bad people in their life. I don't care about being respectful to somebody who literally called for, I don't care how many people it takes to die, Israel deserves to be safe. These people see the news that we see. They're not stupid. Yeah. You can't get into these positions of power being a complete idiot. You can't. So these people know what's going on, but they know it's better for them politically to say, oh, I don't care if tens of thousands of innocents die. I support Israel and its right to exist. All right, what about the Palestinians' right to exist? What about Gaza's right to exist? Now every country has a right to exist. No country but Israel has a right to exist?
The right to exist.
Right. What does that question even mean? Does the U.S. have a right to exist? What if Italy won the fuse of Germany and Austria, make one super long line down Europe? Does Italy have a right to exist? Does that get rid of Italy's right to? It makes no sense. None.
It does. Yeah, no, it makes no sense. No sense at all. But like you said, it makes perfect sense to see that Netanyahu would be attending Lindsey Graham at Lindsey Graham's funeral, as he was their biggest cheerleader within the Senate. Honestly, he was you would see him on TV Fetterman. Grinning. Yeah, him and Fetterman, literally, you would see him on TV grinning at the fact that Israel was bombing Iran and or bombing Palestine, and those are just the sad things you hate to see from someone. And maybe that's something that God has him answer for when he gets to heaven or wherever he gets to. But
all
that's
the death that he has willingly sowed will be sowed onto him.
Yeah, I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible.
I mean, Islamic belief is that once people. So this is just what I think because it's based off Islamic belief. But Islamic belief is that once people die, until the end of days, you're in like a dreamlike state, basically. And then you're in this dreamlike state is basically like either a gift or a punishment itself. And then when the end of days come, you go to hell or heaven. Point being, though, I have a gut feeling Lindsey's probably going to have a very, very long and shitty dream. Because I think, in my honest opinion, if you are willingly participating, and promoting and allowing it to happen, the murder of tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of innocent people and the torture and rape of them, I think you'll probably get that happening to you. And which is what my hope is, which is what a lot of people, why they believe in the afterlife, is because they want peace for the ones who are good and justice for the ones who are bad. And I'm a part of that crowd. I want to be able to see the people who have suffered and done well have peace and forever. And I want to see people like Lindsey Graham suffer for everything they've done. You can quote me on that. If I end up running for politics, which I probably will 10, 15 years, you can quote me on this and I'll double down on it. I think people who are warmongers, who think innocents should die for their political career, are evil people. And I think they should also suffer what they're allowing others to suffer from. And if you think I'm wrong for saying that, then you think that original person is wrong for what they said in the first place if you think what I'm saying is wrong. So then you have an issue with them as well as with me. So if you don't have an issue with them, you don't have an issue with me. If you do have an issue with them, you have an issue with me. At least you're going to be consistent with your logic. But if you're not, and you only have an issue with me and not them, it's clear you just want certain people dead, and I don't respect your opinion. That's that.